Joining us now by Skype is Lila Rose of the pro-life group Live Action. Lila, what's your reaction to Speaker Boehner's resignation?
I think that many people are expressing surprise, but there are reports that he almost resigned last year and he extended it one more year. So in one sense, I don't think it should be such a huge surprise. As you know, the House is extremely divisive right now, and it's been very challenging for everyone to hang together amongst the Republicans. And so I think that it's understandable why he chose to step down. And I'm excited to see the direction of leadership that might emerge next in the House, because we need more than anything to take advantage of the opportunity here to stand up to Planned Parenthood. We need to be educating millions of Americans and legislating for them. And I think the House, of course, has a crucial role in doing that and needs to be thinking forward about the budget that's going to be coming out next week. I know Boehner still has his hands dirty in things that he's going to have to do to get prepared for next week. But I think I'm very optimistic about what will happen with the House and with the next wave of leadership.
How do you think this will affect pro-life goals?
I think it can help pro-life goals. I think Boehner, is someone who was very loud about his pro-life convictions, but I think what we're looking for is, a long-term strategy in the House to really push forward a budgets that do not include Planned Parenthood funding. I think that it's unconscionable that we've been allowing it for many years. I know that there's a president who threatens to veto budgets, but I think that we need to take him, ultimately send a budget to the president and see if he will veto and see if he really will maybe bring down government shutdown in order to continue to fund the biggest abortion chain, Planned Parenthood. So I'm looking forward to the next wave of leadership, and I think that there's some very powerful things that can be done to advance the cause for the protection of the unborn.
Who do you think that leader should be, Lila?
I'm not going to say. I think that there are some great folks who have stood strong for life and have done it in a very powerful way, in a way that's strategic in the House, who have been very clear about their convictions and very consistent in their voting record. I think many of those folks would make for potential candidates. I think at the end of the day, though, whoever is going to take over that position from Speaker Boehner to become the Speaker needs to be someone with a very strong pro-life voting record, 100% voting record, someone who can explain that position to the American people and who can be a voice as the American people are looking for, and who is going to be willing to force the issue with the president and not shy away from that, to send the president the bill that he might veto, which does not include funding of the abortion industry, that would be funding the government. I think that those things are really important for us to look for in a leader.
Do you think Boehner perhaps wasn't strong enough?
I think that there were a lot of and very understandable criticisms over the years, because there's been a constant frustration amongst many Americans, and particularly in the pro-life community, that instead of going to the negotiating table with the president, when you're dealing with a very pro-abortion president, they've just been giving the president everything that he wants for the abortion industry. So Planned Parenthood funding, for example, instead of sending a bill to the president's desk and working in the Senate to get that bill to the desk, there's kind of an automatic positioning of, well, we can't make it anyways. President will probably veto, therefore we shouldn't send the bill to him. So I think that there needs to be a very strong and aggressive approach that says, look, the president should not be holding veto power over the funding of the federal government just to support the abortion industry. And I think that message needs to be coming loud and clear from whomever takes that position as Speaker next.
Indeed. Lila Rose, thanks for joining us and for your time today.
Thanks for having me.